Leo Dreamers. Welcome back to the Mystic Hawk YouTube channel. And yes, by the way, I do have crystals available for sale either on my website or Etsy, whichever one you would prefer to shop at. You can also see my other videos that I have on Mystic Hawk crystals. More coming with that nature and everything about crystals and all that good stuff. And my TikTok videos where I have my homie Nomi there. You know, we do a little bit more irreverent kind of readings on TikTok, have a little more fun there. So check it all out. You can find it all at mystichawk.com. And thank all of you who have supported me. Like, share, subscribe, buying crystals. Anything and everything helps to support this channel and help it to continue. So, Leo, what do we have for you guys? This is a big shift that is happening. I know you are really glad to see this coming. You know, we all are. That North Node in Gemini, South Node in Sagittarius was a real challenge for the entire world and for us in our personal lives as well. So let's see how that affects you, Leo. And this is in particular Leo risings, because I'm just going from the first house. It makes it so much easier. So if you have another rising sign, check out that video as well. But it will resonate to some degree with your sun sign. So let's see what's going on here with the North Node that just moved into Taurus, that has, you know, it's conjunct up with Uranus, shaking everything up. We've even had volcanoes in the world. I mean, it actually got here a little early. It didn't waste any time shaking up the world. And it's shaking all of our worlds up as we transition into these different nodes. Now, the North Node was in Gemini, and we still have that little layover of energy, and that's what I'm seeing here is we're still finishing up with the most part with the old node cycles, and they've been kind of in the last month or two overlapping like a Venn diagram. So, you know, that little gray area in the middle where the circles meet. And in this area, you're moving from your 11th house of friends, social circles, groups. That was your point of destiny, where to focus. Now, there's changes in that area. We've all had changes in both the North Node and the South Node. The changes, if we focus on that meant the friend group changed, the social circles changed. Perhaps your focus on politics, your humanitarian goals or focus. You know, a lot of things have shifted with all this Gemini energy that was moving around, all the information we've been getting over the last year and a half. It's been very confusing, and it's really divided a lot of people, and you may have found yourself in a whole different group of people over this time. And what was leaving out as we had the South Node and Sag was the way you had fun and were creative and felt childlike. Romance may have gone out the window, and if there was any, it didn't seem to last very long. It was, you know, things weren't any fun anymore. You know, had to let go of all those old ways of having fun because it just wasn't fun anymore, right? It's time you had to find a new way. Now you're moving into that North Node Taurus, which will feel a lot better, a lot more grounded, a lot more like you can make some progression and get some things done. It's in the house of value, and what you value is your career and your reputation. That is in the house of the Father, the Capricorn house. That's all about power, influence, and your contribution to society. That's going to be the main focus where your destiny is. I talk about the North Node. Here's my quantum field card that I made, and consider the North Node rules our future self, and these are all your future selves here. You want to pick one on the top node. We'll assign these to the North Node and say you want to pick one of these future selves so they can remember back to you how you got there. And it's just as simple as you doing like, okay, where was I yesterday, and was there problems? Like I used the example where I was having technical issues getting cameras to talk and everything to work and microphones and all that, and it finally did, but I was very frustrated. But the me now, who is my future self from yesterday, is remembering, keep going, don't give up, everything's going to be fine. So, and I'm thinking, use the phone instead of the camera, instead of the video camera. So, hey, that worked. And that's how the future self, we work with the future self. We pick up the memories that we have in the future about how we got there. That's part of how our guidance system works. Now, What's leaving out now in the South Node is the fourth house of home and family. That's the house of the mother or the nurturing parent. If you had a single mother and she had to be the dominant parent, it might be grandma or aunt or great grandma, somebody like that, and this idea of home and family, I feel a lot of childhood stuff, all these memories coming up, because this is a time, as we see the blue heron here. I have medicine cards for the note, 2 medicine cards, and 2 Ancestor Speaks cards that I had to get downloads from. And the blue heron is all talking about self-reflection and really reflecting on your career, your reputation. What kind of changes do you need to make in that? What kind of changes do you make in yourself? It's also one of the things the Blue Heron talks about is during this time of self-reflection, this is when we release the self-righteousness or even blaming other people or circumstances for the way things went, and taking responsibility for where you're at in your life, career-wise. If you're not where you want to be, now is the time in these next 18 months to take the step in that direction. Now, everybody is at different levels and times in life in their maturity. It could be anyone from somebody just getting out of high school or just getting out of college, starting their first career. You could have retired already, and it could be where you want to focus your contribution. If you're retired, you can still contribute and volunteer, that kind of thing. Or if you want to start your own business after working for a corporation for a long time, this is where the focus needs to be on what you do for work. Or if you're retired, volunteer work, how you contribute to your community. And that might cause for all of you, if you change jobs and focuses, it definitely changes up your social groups and friends. If you decide to go out and volunteer, if it feels safe for you to do that, if you decide to go out and volunteer in some ways, that will change your social groups and friends as well. And that's what was happening. It might be your friends that have inspired you to go do these new things from the last cycle. Okay, and letting go of all the ways how it used to be, home and family, all those memories. This is a real maturing process of coming out of wanting to feel safe and nurtured and at home and forever in that youthful place, which of course that's the house. The 5th house is what Leo rules, is youth and fun, which is what got pushed out during this last transit. Not only that, you had all of this Aquarian energy opposing you, so it just felt like the whole world was against you. Nobody's any fun anymore. Yes, I understand that, and now that has thrown you into this self-reflection of how did I get here, going back to the origins, home and family and mother and all of this. And interestingly enough, over here we have mother and child, so that is the house of the mother, and again that's in the South Node Scorpio of the releasing. And what we have, the medicine card we have for the South Node in Scorpio, which represents your home and family, is Bat, which is death and rebirth. Can't get more Scorpio than that, Leo. Really the old self is dying. All these notions, that's the shamanic death, where they dig a pit in the earth. You go out and dig your own grave and spend the night in it with a blanket over the top, and you have to listen to all the animals and deal with all the insects in there and manage to do that without going absolutely insane. So it's like this is really a transformative, especially on the personal level, and then it's going to radiate out to how you come into the world. So your whole sense of self, the ego is an ego death, absolutely. This is very powerful. It is not easy, but if you can get through this shadow work and allow that ego death through all this self-reflection, on the other end of it, by the next round, it should get a whole lot easier. You'll be traveling, you'll be moving about again, a lot easier communication and new groups of friends and stuff. So hang in there. through this transformation. One of the things that the ancestors suggest is to enjoy music. It could be your career is involved in some area of music or deals with sounds and tones, not for all of you. But if not, music can also help you focus and help you calm down, help you get grounded. Definitely bring that fiery energy back up through dancing and enjoying it, whether you play it or just listen to it, or, however it is that music comes into your life. Let's see what the cards have to say to Leo, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I feel your energy is very fast because I got through that a lot quicker with yours than I did the previous two readings I've done today. So you're ready to move. You're ready, definitely ready to make a move on that career and focus on that. I think if really focusing on work really gives you, that maybe has been one way you've been avoiding your self-reflection. So be careful with what you're avoiding. If you're avoiding the shadow, that Uranus and Taurus is going to conjunct up with that North Node and shake things up. You may be forced into a situation where you have to leave the work situation for some self-reflection, whatever that means to you. I mean, it could be just having to be forced into a vacation, or forced to, work from home, or, not at the job at all for whatever reason at all. You know what I mean? Quit, fired, said fuck it. I don't know. It's all depending on where you're at, Leo. There was a bunch of Leos out there. But definitely getting some renewed energy in that area, and I know that's going to feel a lot better for you. Yeah, you see in the devil's backside, that's one thing I see. The backside of the devil, that's all this Capricornian energy that's been so controlling and dominating. That is the house of the father, exactly what we're talking about on the North Node. Bam, bam, there we are. That's the house of Capricorn. And the back to it, the great thing about this is the devil's got its back to you. This is the time to sneak out of hell. When the devil's got his back turned, here's your chance to escape from those old cycles, addictions, again through self-reflection and through that death and rebirth cycle. Let's see what else we got here. We got the Hierophant. We all have seen the Hierophant. That's that South Node in Sagittarius. So, there was some things that you learned through that purging energy of the South Node in Sagittarius. It's going to inform you how to go about in your work life. That, it's going to be very helpful. Some of that stuff that you've released and that you've already done all that reflection over, through that letting go of how you had fun, creativity, your childhood stuff, mother, childhood, that time in your life. Reflecting upon that and letting go of those old beliefs, because they don't serve you in the grown-up world, in the mature world, okay? So now you've seen that. There's the King of Swords. He's facing down, he's controlling the lightning, grounding out the lightning. Again, lightning is Uranus and Taurus. We have all these transits coming out right here. And then there's Uranus and Taurus. They're bringing in some shocking surprises, some renewed fire to your career, okay? That electric impulse, giving you a little bit of electric shock there. I read all these upright, by the way. This is the King of Swords. This is your king that's been you in the last little while, huh? Just feeling like you're asleep. Just like you can't do anything, go anywhere. You used to be the king and roar and all of this and just so exhausted after a long battle. That's what happens in the Four of Swords. The knight has to go and rest, kind of like Chiron needs to go to his cave to heal and to replenish himself. But this really interesting, seeing the backside of this, is that while you're asleep and not paying attention, that the kingdom is on fire and burning. So be careful. You do want to be woke. That's the very example of somebody being rocked to sleep. Now, is that you? I think it's just you needing to take a break to get some rest, because you're really burnt out. We have the Eight of Swords here, analysis, paralysis. Be careful. One of the things the Blue Heron says is don't get into perfectionism, like everything has to be perfect before you can do this, or especially if you're doing a lot of inner work and you think you're just going to dive deep and get it all done in one shot, all your shadow work done in one shot. I'm sorry, it don't happen that way. number one, we can't handle it. We'll drown. You know, if you stay underwater too long, Hera needs air. He's between the worlds of air and water, but he definitely needs to live in the world of the air most of the time. He just goes down into the water for a minute, grabs a fish, comes up. So that's kind of how it's going to have to be. You get that little insight, you heal that. It's just a process, like removing layers of onions. Okay, now we have the Ace of Swords. You do have some new idea, some wonderful new career idea that was brought to you by Spirit. That's Eagle. Eagle represents Spirit and is bringing you an idea. And of course, he's got the laurel. The Eagle is holding this laurel that goes on top of the warrior's head from the Six of Wands. So there's victory, some idea that's going to bring you some victory. So there's a lot of mental energies. 1, 2, 3, 4 swords in a row. A lot of mental energies got it all stirred up about how you're gonna get through this career challenge, because he's standing on a square, so something is squaring up with you here. Taurus, of course, is squaring Leo, because you're both fixed signs and stuff. So it's going to be a challenge. There's going to be some work to it. It's going to be roll up those sleeves and get to work. It's not just going to come to you like easily, like people are going to come to the king and put the riches at your feet. No, you're going to have to go out in the kingdom and deal with the fuck shit going on, because, you know, you can't sleep too long and the whole place will burn down because the idiots are running loose, right, Leo? So, wow, another sword for Leo. Look at this 10. I like this version of 10 of Swords. This is the flip side. This is the vice versa tarot deck. Notice there's something going to be going down around the next eclipse. And this, or it happened around the last eclipse for you. It's all kind of Leos out there. It just depends on where it hits in your chart. But look at him naked. And that, again, is this bat energy of the ego death. Really having to, in order to get out of hell, to get out of this prison, this mental prison that you got yourself in, is that stinking thinking of the ego has gotten you balled up and locked in, and it's going to be this inspired idea that's dropped upon you by your higher self, by Spirit, from Spirit to your higher self, to you, saying, put this on your head and use this for a thinking cap, Leo, because you're thinking based on where you were coming at with your ego from all of these old belief systems that came from the past. That Hierophant there is it's not working anymore. And of course, there we have the next phase in the South Node. There's Inspector Death. We have Scorpio appearing. So right, but I know a lot of people say the Hierophant is Taurus, but I tell you what, that is the way I saw South Node in Sagittarius. Dude wearing a mask, making everybody else bow below, and he's telling everybody how everything's gonna be. You know, all the while, he's got all the same strange esoteric knowledge and stuff he's telling these people not to look at, but he's looking at it. No, it's all flip-floppy, flunky, you know, fucked up, you know. Anyway, you know what I mean. Nobody, you know, so, and this could even be your own belief systems. But again, Inspector Death said, I'm going to go. Let's go. Let's go see. Taking this horse with these lit up eyes. He's going to come around and go behind the throne here. Sniffy, sniffy, sniffy. Oh, look what we have here, Hierophant. You all talking about the Bible and stuff. What's this? We got the, you know, the little star here with the circle. What's this apple thing? What's this baby holding the key? Oh, is that the goddess? What? Oh, no, you didn't. You've been having all kind of secrets, right? You know, finding all these secrets. Of course, these are secrets that you can be hiding from yourself, that this South Node in Scorpio is going to be surfacing up, especially around your family, home, how you grew up. But then the Inspector Death is definitely there to help you to transform. There's that bat energy again, to transform. You know, death, really, who you thought you were in the past is gone. It's a whole new Leo being reborn. We got the night side of the Eight of Wands. There's that Uranus lightning again. There's old Pegasus up there helping Uranus out with the lightning. They're kind of interfering with these Eight of Wands flying through the air. Again, look, how it's connecting up with the King of Wands and his lightning. So it's grounding all that electric energy so that you can focus it into your career. There may be some issues with communication as well. Mercury's going to be retrograde for about another week. But, this reading extends out for a year and a half. So whenever you're reading it, it might be Mercury retrograde then. So, again, it's working, learning new skills, going back to the drawing board, starting over. Whatever project you may have started, it might not work. You have to start over and learn some new skills to go along with it. That'll lead you to a whole new world. Now, she's not facing the camera. She's got her back to the camera, so kind of a little wonky start to a whole new world, but it is a start. To be free. It takes a little bit to get used to after you've been in this monkey mind fuck jail, right? So once you get out of your monkey mind fuck jail, it might take a little bit to get used to this newfound sense of self and newfound freedom. And you're coming out of a place of the Five of Pentacles. And on this side is a rich guy. And he's in church. So this guy has everything he needs. He has all kind of, he has a home, he has food, perhaps even some nice things, nice cars, all of this, but he still feels he's still sitting there with his head in his hands. He got everything you could want in the material world, but he's still lacking in spiritual. So this is very much is a spiritual journey of having to, put some spirituality in the career is what I just heard. Six of Cups, there might be somebody coming up from the past, maybe to, I think that's a lot of people are going to be coming up from the past, especially from home, the old homestead, mother, home and family. So this could be siblings, cousins, just remembering how cool it was to be a kid. But again, those are things, that ego death that needs to be left behind because those times are no longer here. And the people aren't the same either, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years later, sister, brother, cousin, best friend from next door ain't the same person, and neither are you, right? You might not have the same things to talk about, same things in common. Also, I could see that, you have some friends that did come back from the past that will help you out, but they might be different ones than you had before. Okay, here's what very interesting. I love this Two of Pentacles. It is juggling. You may have two different jobs, two different projects. Two different focuses. You got two things. You're really juggling a whole lot of stuff, maybe trying to do a lot of stuff all by yourself, but notice you have an audience. People are looking on, and you have this wonderful timing of being out there at the perfect time. See, from that position, just looks like he's out there by the docks and there's the ship behind him and he's practicing his juggling, but no. He was smart enough to get out there when he knew people were going to be on their balconies in the evening, and he's showing off his talents. So you want to make sure you're in the right place at the right time, especially during this North Node in Taurus with all this work, career situations and opportunities. You never know who may be watching who will want to invest or come along and help you out in your endeavors. Okay, and this side, this is actually the Queen of Swords, Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. I didn't say that with this. And there might actually be a Libra female that comes and helps you out. You might have a Libra male and female, or another air sign. This could also just signifying you using your mind, your mind and your intuition together, because that's what I feel like the Queen of Swords represents. Yes, she's had a lot of losses. You have too. You had to die to your old self, but it's like picking up that sword, the sword of spirit gave you, and putting it into action. The masculine side grounding the fire, and the feminine side, receiving through the crystals, receiving the inspiration, but also storing and holding, being the vessel for the information within the crystals. So that's like the hard drive, storing knowledge, that quantum hard drive that crystals are, by the way. That's why I brought crystals to you in honor of this North Node in Taurus, to have something valuable, solid of the earth that you can hold, something that is yours, from the Mother Earth to my hands to you, selected just for light workers. I mean, there you go. I'm the Queen of Swords coming bearing crystals. So that might be me. You never know. You need a crystal. Just kidding, Leo. But anyway, moving on. So the next card is, yeah, you've been waiting a long time. You planted those seeds, maybe even another phase or two ago, and another moon node phase, like a year and a half or even 3 years ago. So you've been working on this for a while, or even in the last period that you did plant some seeds and you're waiting for them to come through. Looks like we have an 8 of Pentacles, so you have an opportunity for these seeds that planted to begin. Now it's not the 10 of Pentacles, like you're getting what you really look for, but there is some money coming in. There is some success, which is better than the nothing this guy was getting. He was, perhaps even going in debt planting his fields. A lot of farmers do that. But now this farmer, he finally got paid for his harvest, and he was able to go out and buy another pentacle. There you go. Can't make this stuff up. It's all about work, baby. Work, 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 work. All you ever do is work, 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 work. I know that's the way it is, but if you want to build an empire, you want to build your kingdom, Leo, stop it from burning down in the background. You're going to have to roll up your sleeves and put some work into it. Change those attitudes. Change those beliefs. Grow up a little bit. And we all have to. That's what Saturn's kicking on our asses to do that. So yeah, it is about a work project and really focusing on making something happen. Even though the 8 of Pentacles is farther up in number than the 3 of Pentacles, the 3 of Pentacles actually represents that work career, the mastery of something. So truly mastering a profession and having put in after having put in the hard work, time, and energy into it, it is not just going to be given to you, and it's going to happen very quickly with this Knight of Swords. So we have the Sword family, just almost the entire Sword family. So you got so many ideas rushing and rolling through your head. It's just like really intense, and you're ready to put stuff into action. You've been waiting for quite a while to get out of hell, out of your prison, out of your own this feeling of stuckness, this dark night of the soul that you've been going through. And it's like, okay, just whatever needs to go, let it go, baby. Let's move on with it. I'm tired of being in this same old place. I'm tired of thinking about all this stuff from the past. Let's build something. Let's go. But first you have to do that personal work. Don't forget to have some music playing in the background, something soothing, or even, the Ride of the Valkyries is what I'm thinking. Da, 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 da. That's what I'm hearing with the King and the Queen of Swords, and there's Pegasus in the middle. I mean, how could it not be the Ride of the Valkyries? And here we got another Valkyrie here, the Sun, the Knight of Swords. I mean, the whole Sword family is coming to ride to your rescue. Just not to your rescue, but to aid you, okay, to fight by your side. Let's look at the romance angels. It is the romance time and all this Venus and Mars, and there is some romance in the air, not just because we're coming up on February, just because actually February might actually be a romantic time because of what's going on in the stars. So let's see what's happening with you guys. Oh yeah, be feeling that separation from a loved one. I see that, the friends, the fun, your social groups, romance went out the window in the last phase, like one right after another. It's like feeling like they dropping like flies. But look out, there's somebody from a past life relationship. And if it's not a past life relationship, it's a 6 of Cups situation we were talking about. This could be a past life, somebody you had a connection with, you still have some stuff to work out with, or it could be somebody that you knew as a kid, but there might be somebody coming back around that might stir up some of those romantic feelings right now, or at some time in the past, or sometime during these next 18 months. There has been a little bit of a feeling of separation in that area. But I do see that picking up a little bit. Not a whole lot. There's not a lot of love here, baby. It's all mind and money. You got your money on your mind and your mind on your money. You got your money on your mind and your mind. Oh yeah, if the honey shows up, okay, whatever. I'm tired of being disappointed by people and people breaking my heart, So you're not focusing on that a whole lot right now. Too much interpersonal transformation, and just focusing on work and career right now, which is great. And that's where you need to be for this next 18 months to get things lined up and ready, maybe to have a little bit more romance and learning and travel and communication with other people. But first there has to be a major transformation within, and then you're going to be coming up with the next progression, which will be going into the ninth and the third house, which will be all about your travel and communications. So there you go. That's something to look forward to. All right, there it is for you, Leo. Thank you for watching this far. Thank you for all your likes, shares, subscribes, all that. Don't forget to check out mystichawk.com even if you just want to go window shopping for the crystals. It's just as safe to buy them on my website as Etsy. You know, I'm just trying out both of them. I'm in the testing and prototype phase right now. Hey, but I got started right for this new phase and bringing you something solid of value to hold in your hand. All right, thank you, and I will see you next time. Sweet dreams, Leo dreamers. Okay, wake up. There we go.